What's up, guys? An idiot with a plan can beat a genius without one. That's what Warren Buffett said. And so this year, in 2022, December, before Christmas, I carved out about 10 hours of time to really focus on my plan for 2023. I had some stuff happen in 2022. I had some S-curves, I had some swerves, I had some things go wrong, I had things go right. And I decided I really wanted to prepare, but one of the things that changed my mind this year was I wanted to prepare how I prepared when I first got into real estate. You know why? I wanted to prepare because when I first got into real estate, there was so much excitement. And the excitement that got me in, the desire really carried me through some major obstacles. It caused me to get that first deal, not because I knew exactly what to do, but because there was magic, there was anticipation, there was commitment, and there was massive emotion in the midst of this. So I want to talk to you today specifically about how to set goals, how to create emotion, and lastly, I want to give you the number one thing you can do to improve your skills that will help you hit your investing goals in 2023 based on what I learned. Guys, my name is Ronald Walker, your host here at Forge to Win. If you're liking this content, hit that subscribe button. I have a whole bunch of awesome content coming out on how to find deals, how to negotiate with sellers, how do you create credibility and authority in the marketplace as a real estate investor, specifically in a recession, to give you confidence and consistency through this time. So hit the like button for me. It helps with the algorithm. And if you want to be notified when that stuff comes out, hit that notification bell. In December, I decided to take a workshop on setting goals, specifically on creating a business plan, because I have never really created a business plan. I've created some emotions, I've created goals, but really a complex, what does things look like that I can refer to over and over again. So I paid about $1,000 and I decided to go through a business planning webinar. And as a result, I've got a multi-page business plan that I've looked at a number of times since I did it. And it actually took me quite a bit to do this. Things from creating a mission to some really cool stuff on how to put a theme on your year and some other cool things on setting numbers and how everything informs each other and gets you excited, which we're going to talk about here in just a little bit and what those steps were that I took of setting goals. But before I do, let me ask you a question. What was your mind consumed with in 2022? Specifically, was it consumed with the wrong thoughts? Was it consumed with distractions? And how did you handle those distractions? See, I want you to think about your 2022 and I want you to rate yourself. I want you to say, in my health, in my family, in my spouse relationship, right? In these different categories, from 1 to 10, 1 being terrible, 10 being great, how awesome were you? How good were you at the beginning of 2022? And how good are you today? Go through and rate them. Your learning, your personal growth, the goals that you hit, and your spiritual faith. Go through and rate these things, really figure out where you're at, and then ask yourself, did you have personal goals during 2022? Because in order to set goals for today, if you want to be effective, you need to understand the past. There's that saying that history will repeat itself if we don't learn from the past. If you're not going back and studying your trends and studying what you did, what happened, why it happened, then the likelihood that you repeat it is very, very high. So I want you to ask yourself, what goals did you have in 2022? Then I want you to ask yourself, did you hit them? Do you know that only 8%, this is what they said in the course, only 8% of people hit their goals? That's crazy, guys. Don't you want to be one of those 8% and not the 92%? So go through, did you hit your goals? If you didn't, keep listening, because we're going to talk about the number one way to improve your skills, the number one way to create emotion in order to hit those. But before we do, is someone challenging you? I was really, really challenged in this of asking, what did I learn? Did things distract me, derail me? I had a couple of rehabs this last year that really went south. I had one that I lost quite a bit of money on that I don't really like talking about. I lost a bunch of money on that one. I made some good money on another rehab that went well, but the one that didn't go so well, I beat myself up, guys. I did not handle it very well. because it's like you have all these things. Oh man, I should have been able to do this. I should have anticipated this. I should have been on top of this. Should equals shame, and shame equals lack of productivity, and your mind becomes consumed with the wrong thoughts. It becomes consumed with distraction. So what things have distracted you? Was it some employees that you let go? Was it the missing of a goal? Was it the fact that someone rejected you and you took 2 days to get over it? What things did consume your mind? And write those things down so you know it. And then, I realized that I didn't really have a whole lot of people challenging me. So do you have people challenging you, or are you the top dog, right? Or are you lonely? And realizing, asking yourself, who is challenging me? And then the flip side is, who am I challenging? You see, looking back in the past and really doing an analysis of last year will help you understand who you were, what happened, where you were at emotionally, and where you're at from your goals and your strategy. And instead of just beating yourself up in your head and letting your mind be completely overwhelmed, you're able to kind of spider web it out. Think of those movies and those murder mysteries where they're spider webbing things on the wall, right? And they're trying to figure out who was the killer? What was the catalyst that caused me to miss my goals? Because my guess is there's a lot of red herrings. There's a lot of thoughts. There's a lot of things that are struggling. I know with me, it was hard to pinpoint because one thing led to another and then impacted another thing, and really dissecting that. What really happened during 2022 and how that impacted me. And I really wanted to be able to anticipate that. So in being able to move forward, okay? And we're going to get to the skill here in a minute, which is going to be amazing. So I want you guys to stay tuned to the end, because it's the most exciting thing for me this year. It's the thing that I'm actually super pumped about. But before I do, think about a relationship. When you have a relationship, when there's magic, when there's fun times, when there's high excitement, that high excitement leads to wanting to continue to do something. It leads to expression and motivation and energy, right? And if you've watched some of my older videos, go back, I talked in great detail on how losing energy is the kiss of death for real estate investors, because you need energy to go through some of the hard things that we go through, to go through some of the challenges that we face. I like to say that real estate is the simplest hard thing you will ever do, but it's totally worth it because it can transform your life. But the question is, as you are thinking about this, if the magic dies, things get boring, and boring things dwindle away and disappear. If you lose the magic, it stagnates and it dies. So I want you to think about this. In your goals for 2022, how much are you just thinking logically and writing out, hey, I want to make $1 million. Hey, I want to do 23 houses. Hey, I'm going to do this. And it's all just logical. And logic is good. The SMART goals is what they talk about it, right? The specific, measurable, and the rest of the acronym. Those are things that are important, but it's not enough. It's missing a critical component. And that component is the fuel that causes the car to go down the highway. It's the thing that allows you to press on the gas no matter what you're feeling on the inside. It is the thing that causes you to get up in the morning when you're having a hard time and when you're going through struggles, and allows you to be consistent in your action. And that thing is emotion. It is willpower. It is developing why you are doing this. And here's the first thing I want to give you, okay, is as you are going through this, as you are setting your goals, I want you to tap into emotion. You know, when I started back in 2012 in December, I bought the course and I got started and I did my first deal 3 months later. One of the things that I did that Sean Terry recommended was he recommended writing a letter to yourself 3 years from now and the things that you would have. Who do you want to be? Why are you getting into this business? And what is that future version of yourself? Because writing that letter will give you a clear picture. What are you going to accomplish? What are you going to overcome? How's it going to feel? And how are you going to celebrate? So I actually incorporated that. And in the business lesson that I took, he talked about writing a letter as if you were chosen as person of the year. So I took times and I wrote a 2-page letter on who I want to be in 10 years from now, and what those things I was going to accomplish, and what that looked like, and how that was going to feel, and those things that I was going to overcome, both mentally, the mindset limitations that I have that I want to overcome, and how I was going to impact and affect the community around me in a positive way, and why people would look and say, this is what Ronnie has accomplished. And I want to encourage you to do the same. Go out and write a letter to yourself. And as you're thinking about this, think about the things you overcome. Think about the things you're going to do. Think about the obstacles you're going to face. Think about the people you're going to help. Think about how you're going to reward yourself. Think about what you're going to do for your family and take care of them. And really understand the impact you want to make by becoming a real estate investor. And as you're going through that, the next thing that you want to focus on after writing this letter and really putting is ask yourself, who is there for you? Who's there for you? Who has your back? Who are the people that you can trust and you can lean on in a hard time? If you're struggling in your personal relationship, who is it that encourages you to man up? Who encourages you to cry out and feel your emotions, but still show up? Who is there to challenge you to be the best and most beautiful version of you? Then the next thing I want you to ask is, who are you doing this for? You're doing it for you? You're doing it for your wife? Are you doing it for your kids? Are you doing it for your family? Are you doing it to prove a point? Who are you doing this for, right? Whether it's a positive for or a negative for, right? Maybe you got to prove a point. Maybe there's a cousin that pissed you off. Maybe there's a teacher. Maybe it was your dad or your mom. Who are you doing this for? And really ask yourself that the people that inspire you, the people you're supporting, the people you want to show wrong, who are all these people? And write them down and get motivation to come out. What are some statements they've said that really encourage you? What was some of the things that you've done that you can lean on for this emotion to well up inside of you? And before we get into the number one thing that can help you emotionally throughout the whole year that I'll set in place and I'll share it with you, I want you to think about the emotions you want to tap into this entire year. What is the thing you want to come back to over and over again, and how will it help you accomplish your goals? You see, most people focus on the money, and it's a mistake, because at some point the money just isn't enough to motivate us through some of the hard stuff we go through. It's not enough to motivate us in life. You need otherwise. You need emotion. And if you need that through this entire year, I want you to do this. I want you to take 2023 and I want you to get super clear. And here's how. I want you to focus on what the theme of this year's gonna be. And the theme, I saw a post on Facebook, and I know someone's done this exercise because they said 2023 is the year of consistency, picking one thing and knocking it out. You know what my theme is? My theme is 2023 is the year of community building. And that impacts a lot of my goals. As you see me push out things on YouTube, push out things on Facebook, and connect with more people and bring people together, you'll see that community is the theme, and community inspires my goals. But that might not be it for you. Maybe for you, 2023 is the year of recreating yourself. 2023 is the year of self-education and learning, like on these books, and opening it up and reading multiple times per year. 2017, that was it for me. I read 156 books in 2017 just to consume my mind with knowledge. Maybe your theme is something else entirely. Maybe it's the theme of skill development. Maybe it's the theme of high sales volume. Maybe it's the theme of being a challenger. Maybe it's the theme of self-discovery. But whatever that theme is for you, choose a theme, Google it, figure out what's important for you and your goals, and go out there and wrap your goals around that theme for the whole year, and then create rewards and rewards and rewards before you create the skills, before you create the accomplishments that you want, the goals that you're going to set, the financial milestones that you want to hit. Get into the emotions, because the emotion will give you the magic, and the magic will be the fuel to help you succeed. So what do you do next? Now you've focused on putting together the emotional side, figuring out what drives you, what motivates you, what gets you up in the morning, no matter how well things are going or how hard things are, you get up and you drive towards it. And this is the next thing that I want you to do. I want you to sit down and I want you to say, what do I want to accomplish by the end of the year? What are the major blocks that I want to establish in my life? Is it a certain amount of relationships? Is it buying a certain amount of properties? Is it rehabbing a certain amount of properties? Is it media and social media or creating a YouTube channel? Is it finding a certain amount? What is the core number one thing you want to hit? Is it building a team? Is it putting systems in place? Whatever that number one thing is, I want you to focus on those huge blocks, those huge cornerstones that you're going to build on, and then unpack them. And usually they're related to that theme we just talked about. And once you figure out and unpack that, maybe it's, I want to do 10 deals this year. Maybe it's, I want to scale to 100 deals this year. Maybe it's, I want to make $500,000 for the first time. I made 300 last year. Or maybe it's, man, I want to get to 1.5 million. I made this. Maybe it's, I want to get to 3 million, because if I hit 3 million, this is the impact that I would have. And figure out what that is and then back into it. And really, a lot of people back into it and say, well, then I need to do this, and I need to put this in place, and this in place, and this in place. And they create all these subsequent goals. That's important, but it's actually not the most important. The thing that you need to focus on is this. What got you to where you're at right now in your life while you're watching this video will not get you to the next step. You will not level up by doing the exact same things that you did to get here. What got you here will not get you to the next level. What got you to where you're at now will not get you to your goals. You have to recreate yourself. You have to continue to win. You have to say, hey, this is my road here. But just like when you're climbing up a mountain, I used to hike. I grew up in Alaska, and we used to hike up Lazy Mountain in the Butte. You know, what gets you up to one level, you take a break, all right, that was a steep climb. The next climb might be super rocky, and you have to do different rock climbs, and it's all over the place. What got you up to this level, there's going to be a different challenge on the next level. So you want to focus on improving yourself. One of the guys I like to listen to, he says there's a 4-step formula to winning, and winning in an industry and getting what you want out of it and becoming the person you want to be. Number 1 is you got to work hard. You got to work hard. You got to put in the work. Number 2 is you have to constantly improve. You have to be constantly learning, constantly improving. And that's what we're talking about here. What you know now will not get you to the next level. You don't know what it takes to make $1.5 million a year if you've never done that, even though you look at other people. You don't know. You've never done it, right? If you've never made $250,000, you don't know what it takes. So what got you to where you're at today will not get you to the next level, so you're going to have to recreate yourself. The third thing is the strategies. And if you guys want more strategies, which goes beyond the purview of this video, that's what Acquisition University is about. It's about giving you strategies to be able to find deals and convert those sellers, and some of the ninja ways to do that. But we're not going to get into that today. And the thing number 4 is to last longer than everybody else. When other people give up, you're still staying in the game. When things get hard, you increase your effort and you last longer than them. So how do you constantly improve? How do you maintain? This is how you do it. And this is the number 1 thing I want you guys to think about for your goals in 2023. It's not the exact things you want to hit. It's not the logical progression. It's not the rocks and the big goals you put in place and the big foundational cornerstones. It's not even the story that you write, although all those are good. The thing that I want you to focus on is I want you to pick 4 skills, and I want you to go to Amazon, and I want you to buy every single book on those 4 skills with reviews over, say, 200. And then I want you to buy them, and I want you to read them. And I want you to level up in the specific areas that are going to help you. Do you want to get better at managing your money? Go buy 20 books on managing your money and read those 20 books this first quarter. Then pick another skill. Do you want to get better at handling meetings? Then go buy 20 books on running meetings better. Do you want to get better at editing? Then go buy 20 books or take 20 courses on editing online, and focus on the skills that you need to improve in order to hit the goals and become the person who overcomes the challenges that you want to do to create the life that you want to create. You see, everything that we want is in front of us, and someone has done and someone has learned. We live in an age where it is the easiest time in human history, even during a recession, to make money. And a lot of it has been put into knowledge, but your ability to go out and find that, my ability to be able to research and read and take notes and figure out how to implement them in my own life and seek out that knowledge, it is one of the core differences in my ability to put strategies in place to make money, to find the deals that I'm looking for, to create the consistency and the confidence to live the life that I want to live. And I want you guys to take some of these best practices and implement it in your life. So go out there, set your goals, take 10 hours of time, write out a big plan, figure out what your mission is, figure out what your theme is, figure out what your goals are, figure out what skills you want to implement. And that way you can be the idiot with a plan rather than complaining that you might not be a genius. Or if you are a genius, you know that with a plan, you can accomplish up to your potential. Guys, my name is Ronald Walker here at Forge to Win. Thank you so much for watching this. And if you're interested in learning more about what we've got going on, go to acquisitionuniversity.com. You can see a link in the description below. We are helping investors in their ability to find deals consistently to be able to make the money that they want to make, and then helping them develop a sales process to be able to talk to people and to be able to engage and offer value in today's economy. It doesn't matter if you're a wholesaler trying to create a wholesale business that does multiple deals, or if you're just a single investor who wants to pick up a few rentals. Your ability to find those deals systematically and with confidence and then turn them into the types of properties you want will help you in your journey. So go to acquisitionuniversity.com. I'll see you there. Thank you.